Hi everyone, this is Leslie Jouflas with Trading Live Online, and welcome to today's edition, September 6, 2022 of your Daily 5. Can't believe we're already into September and the summer is winding up and fall is going to be here soon. I do love this time of year though. It's beautiful where I am. I thought today I would take a look at, it's been a little while since I've updated this, but back on it was April 12th, 2022, that was when I first presented these tech giants, Apple, Microsoft, Applied Materials, Facebook, and Google, and they were showing a lot of weakness at the time. This was before some of these just really dropped off of a cliff. And so since we've had this recent market rally to the upside, I thought we could take a look and see how these are positioned now. So let's get started, and we're going to take a look at the charts that I've had actually stored on one of my lists inside of StockCharts. So let's get going with that. Well, the first one we're going to take, these are not in any particular order. They're just the order that they come up in my list. So the first one we're going to look at is Amazon. And this is on a monthly chart. And Amazon had a very long sideways range. Of course, this is on a monthly chart. So this range is going all the way back to right around the beginning of 2020, and you can see it broke to the downside early in 2022, so it was almost a 2-year range. So in the last few months, it has declined. I think the last update I did, I talked about it being close to this upward sloping trend line. It found a little bit of support around that 100 level. So that 100 level on Amazon is going to be an important price level to watch. You can see over the last couple of months that Amazon, the price was able to bounce off that 100 level, and it retested the lower what used to be support, now resistance, the lower bound of this horizontal trend line. So recently, in August, you can see it's turned down from there. So again, this level right here, right around 100, is going to be really important. The RSI has been showing weakness. You can see really clearly now from the 2020 RSI high here. You can see how it's just been sloping downward. So Amazon would have to really get back above, I think, these levels around that 170-ish level, 160, 170. Of course, the highs up here, 188.65. But I think it's got a lot of work to do before that occurs. And if it were to come back up and break this high, it just has a ton of resistance right through around the center of where this big sideways line formed. So let's move on now and let's take a look at the next one. So this is a daily chart of Amazon. So this can give you just a little bit more detail than what we just looked at on the monthly chart. And you can see where the break was to the downside. You can see where it found the support right around that 100 level. And of course, the retest back up again. So right now it's down to where this kind of gap area is. But these horizontal lines here, these are support areas to be keeping an eye on. If it breaks 100, it's likely also going to be breaking that upward sloping trend line that we looked at on the monthly. So I think it can get a good drop from there if we see that break. These horizontal lines here and this support area, this would, likely be maybe the first area for a price to test on a break of 100 if it does break there. Let's take a look at Apple. Apple had a really nice, move to the upside off of the lows with the rally from June and July. In the markets, there was a big ABCD buy pattern there. However, it's found resistance up around the lower of this parallel trending channel, the lower trend line, upward sloping trend line, you can see the resistance that Apple has found here, and now it's had a gap to the downside. This is on a weekly chart again. So the retracement levels, the fib levels on here, I'm using the March 2020 lows from the low to the high, and it found support. You can see all the support that it found at the 382. So it may find, some more if it comes down and retests this area, unless it's really coming down with a lot of momentum. It might find a little bit of a bounce there. But for Apple to really get going back to the upside, it's got to break that 176 level again. And of course, these highs up here, the 182. But I think if it did manage to turn from here and break that 176, my feeling is it's going to, make a new high above that 182. However, if it breaks below this low where the 0.382 Fibonacci retracement level is, the next levels to be watching for are going to be this 0.50 around the 118 level, and the 0.618 would be bringing it down to just above 100. And the 100, the big, round numbers are always psychological points for the market. So my expectation would be that there would be some support coming into that area. So you might be starting to see a theme going on where these tech giants, again, first you can look up the video. You just go through the list of your daily fives and look back to April 12th, 2022, and you'll find the original video of this. But the current theme that's going on is that these are all testing these areas that were support levels, and now they've been finding resistance at those areas. So those areas now where that resistance is coming in are going to be, the important price levels to be watching. So Applied Materials, I always call it AMAT, has turned down pretty decisively from this resistance, that 111 area. And then here again from the March 2020 lows to the highs, the 0.618 area is where that bounce came from. So if this exceeds that 0.618 level, then I think it's going to be making its way back down around 65 to 70 level. You can see these previous highs back here. So you can keep an eye on Applied Materials right around that 82 level, and also that 111 level. Above 111, if it does not exceed this low, but the price just turns up from around where it is and makes a leg to the upside, very similar to this one, then that might form a Gartley sell pattern. And again, on my thread on your daily five, you can find a video on the Gartley sell pattern. It's basically an A, B, C, D swing that is contained within a previous larger swing. So looking at the chart of Google, this is on a weekly chart as well. I'm not seeing a lot of really anything positive, really positive as far as price just reversing to the upside right now. Of course, that that can change. But if we look at the RSI up here, you can see that with the price bounce that this has gotten on this last rally, that the RSI has not really exceeded any really bullish levels yet. So until it can do that, with the price, it's probably still going to be staying in this downward mode. And again, this test up here, oh, sorry, I forgot to extend that trend line for you, but this lower trend line here, extended forward, is where the price retested. That's where the break of this, pattern, this kind of sideways movement was below the 100 level. The 100 level obviously is coming up on a few of these big names, and likely to see a deeper retracement, some support coming in back around 75 to 85 area. So, same thing with Microsoft. Microsoft had the upward sloping trend line, had broken that trend line to the downside actually earlier in the year. So Microsoft was actually, showing weakness with this type of a break of a trend line before some of the other big tech stocks were. And then you can see the test back up and then another decline. This was kind of an A, B, C, D buy pattern, sideways move off of that, and then rally to the upside. But look where that rally, the top of that rally came to, another retest of where the break of that trend line was. So we know now that 300 level is really a level that Microsoft needs to get back through in order to, I think, continue this uptrend. But right now, it looks very close to challenging these lows from this last summer in July. So that 245 level, if that breaks, then the 618 level is probably going to be the next area to test. That's around the $213 level. And that's also coming back into where there was some congestion here. So watch that 245 level in Microsoft. Now, we'll have to watch and see on these if, start to see some buy patterns form if they get down into some of these deeper support levels. Now, the last chart that we're going to look at today is Meta, Facebook, and this has not shown much strength on the rally that we've seen the last couple of months in the indexes. We can see that here. This is a monthly chart. There's just not much retracement to the upside. There was a retest here of the break of this upward sloping trend line. There's a little bit of a retest right back in this area, but it hasn't retested that area since. The 155 area is the low here. And if Facebook Meta breaks that low, especially with the weakness that it's showing, I think it's likely to at least test the 123. If it breaks that, it's probably going to be seeing prices come, back down, maybe back into this 80 area, 70-ish to 80 area. We'll have to be watching that if it breaks these 120-ish lows here, if that 155 breaks. But looking at a couple of the indicators, I'm not seeing anything really turning to the upside yet either. The RSI is still looking pretty weak. You can see the MACD here. This has made some momentum lows. And we're looking at a monthly chart, so it takes, a little time sometimes for things to turn on a monthly chart. On balance volume is still down, and the money flow is just hanging out down at the bottom of that range. Okay, so that's the update for our big tech giants. Again, none of these tech giants I'm seeing anything, again, really bullish yet. Things will develop on them as more time goes by, and we'll continue to check back. But there's some good levels, price levels to watch for the support areas on the downside. So thanks for joining me today, and feel free to visit me at my website, Trading Live Online, and I will see you on the next Your Daily 5.
Hey guys, Dave Keller here with StockCharts.com. Thanks so much for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, and we hope you did, hit the like button right below. Also, we have so much new content every day. Consider subscribing to the channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the video or right below. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Have a fantastic day.